something that you just been dying to say. We do, girl, I believe.
My name is Lindsay Lunke. In 2016, I decided to publicly identify myself as a victim of Larry Nassar. Hello you guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lindsay, and if you are not new here, thank you so much for coming back. For today's video, I'm going to be doing another episode in the Survivor Series, and it is the top 10 things I've learned as a victim of abuse. We are nearing the end of the Survivor Series. I have learned, honestly, so much about myself in this process and the things that I have kind of come to know in my knowledge that I've gained as a victim of abuse just from answering all of your guys' questions. I also feel like this has opened up a lot of conversation about sexual abuse just in general, because I have so many people messaging me saying, I reported my abuse, I was able to talk to my parents about my abuse, I told my story, like I reported it to the police. Just so many different messages that I received where I don't even know if I would have received those messages had I not done the Survivor Series. So I just want to say that I hope, as we're getting to the end of this, that I hope that you guys felt like this was useful for you and that you don't feel as alone now. With that being said, we have 2 videos left. If there are other questions and topics that you guys want me to talk about, I am willing to make more videos 100%. I just wanted to get the actual series done and over with because Christmas is coming and I want to do Vlogmas, so I wanted to get this done at the end of November. I didn't want to keep dragging it out. So if you guys do have other questions and other topics you want me to talk about, I can do other videos on them. It's not like I'm going to be done talking about this on my channel, but I just, for the actual series, I wanted it to be done. So like I said, today's video is going to be the top things that I learned as a victim of abuse. And the number one thing that I learned is trust is hard. I probably will never fully gain trust back ever in my life, mainly with meeting new people. So through my 4 years of college, I've made new friends. Obviously, I transferred to Michigan State. I made a bunch of new friends as teammates. But as far as going to college and meeting your college best friend, and they're supposed to be your maid of honor in your wedding and all those things, I stuck to my 3 best friends that I had before I even went to college. That is simply because I don't trust. I don't have trust anymore. The only people that I really trust are the people that I've known for a very, very long time, and they've never hurt me or stabbed me in the back or anything like that. And the second I feel like somebody is taking advantage of me, or the second I feel like someone doesn't really put forth the effort into a relationship that I'm putting forward, I cut them out of my life. I don't mean to intentionally. I have a wall up. I'm on guard all the time of letting people in and out of my life, sharing certain things with certain people. So trust is just something that I probably will never fully gain back. The second thing that I have learned as a victim of abuse is not everybody has your best interest at heart. And I can kind of relate this to the question I just talked about, but not everybody is your friend. Not everybody wants the best for you. Not everybody cares about you like you care about them. So I believe in the good in people all the time, and that is something that has been really, really hard for me to learn. I always am telling myself when someone seems like they're being really nice to me that they don't actually mean it. They're trying to get something out of me. They are trying to use me for their advantage. They don't actually care about me and my well-being and my health. Even though I may care about theirs, it's not always reciprocated. So that's just something that I have really, really had to come to terms with and learn. The third thing, kind of the opposite of what I just said that I've learned, is that not everybody is a Larry Nassar. So there are times where there are people that come up to me, random strangers that have conversation with me, whether it's at the grocery store, the mall, wherever it may be on campus, and my guard is up constantly because I don't know what their intentions are with me, which is so terrible because, like I said, not everybody is bad. Not everybody is out to hurt you. There are good people in the world, and sometimes I just forget that, and there are people that do truly want to help you. But it's just, I keep my guard up so high of who those people are that are trying to help me and who those people are that are trying to hurt me. The fourth thing that I have learned about being a victim of abuse is that therapy is not a bad thing. In fact, therapy is great, and I would highly recommend it for anybody who has gone through something as traumatic as abuse. I've talked about this kind of in previous videos, but I never really thought therapy worked just because growing up in the environment that I did at Twistars, you weren't allowed to have feelings, and so complaining about your feelings wasn't an option. So when I was going to therapy, I felt like that's what I was doing. I was like, why am I sitting here talking about my feelings when I went through the things that I did as a child and I was totally fine, which in reality I wasn't fine, which I'm still realizing to this day how messed up I am based off of gymnastics as a kid at Twistars. But therapy provides exercises and resources to help you, whether it be sleeping or breathing or staying calm or avoiding anxiety. There is somebody who understands you from a psychological standpoint. So there are certain reasons why I react and act the way I do to certain things. There are certain reasons why I'm afraid of this, afraid of that. And my therapist can connect it to my brain and knows why that is a thing. So that is a huge advantage because I'm someone that likes to understand. And so when I can understand why I'm feeling the way I do, that helps me tremendously in my healing process. Also, it's just going off of understanding why you act the way you do. It's proven reasons why you feel that way. Like, you're feeling this way because of this, and that's a proven fact of you being right. So you're not crazy for feeling the way that you do. You're not different. You're not alone. Chances are there's plenty of other people that feel the exact same way because it's common, and you're not crazy for feeling the way you do. And so that was something that therapy really opened my eyes to too. The next thing that I learned as a victim of abuse, I believe around 5, is there will be good days and there will be bad days. My emotions are a literal roller coaster. I have really good days, I have really bad days. I don't know when the bad days are gonna hit. I don't know when the good days are gonna be. It pretty much is just when I wake up, it depends on how I feel, and the rest of the day kind of goes off of that. I do my best, like I've talked about, when I do have those bad days to make sure I'm not sulking in my sorrows, and I try to do things to make myself feel better. Sometimes depression and anxiety just can't be fixed in the moment. Honestly, when you have those good days, you just have to run with them, be productive, get everything done that you can get done, and on the bad days, realize where you are in the moment and do what you can in that moment to make yourself feel better. The 6th thing that I have learned as a victim of abuse is that you absolutely 100% have to talk about what is going on in your life with what happened to you. It doesn't have to be down to every single nitty-gritty detail, exactly what happened second by second, but you do have to be able to talk about how you're feeling, what is going on, why you're feeling that way, how it's affecting you. You have to be able to communicate, because the longer you hold in your emotions and your feelings, the absolute harder it gets to deal with, because nobody knows that you're feeling that way, and so nobody can help you. When you talk about it and you open up to somebody, they can help you, they can comfort you, give you advice, and make it easier on you. Nobody should ever have to go through something like abuse alone, ever. It's so incredibly hard, and nowhere does it say, oh, if you were a victim of any kind of abuse, you're on your own. No, that's not written anywhere. That's stupid. You don't have to go through anything alone. But you do have to be able to open up to those people that you do trust and let them support you, because they do care and they do want to help you. And like I said, the more you open up about it, the easier it gets. The next thing that I have learned about being a victim of abuse and going through something like this in your life is you are going to lose a lot of your friends. If not a majority of your friends that you think are your friends, but really they're not. I can't tell you guys the amount of people in my life that I was talking to on a daily basis while all of this is going on that did not ask me about anything one time, asked me how I was doing, just questions in general, just did not even care to bring up the topic, didn't care to support me. I had so many friends that I literally was talking to on a daily basis. I was doing things for, even though I was going through everything that I was going through, I was helping them with whatever was going on in their life, giving them advice, and they did not care, take the time out of their day to even ask how I was doing. So you know what? I don't need them in my life. I will keep the people in my life that I know care about me, that are going to be there for me, that are there for me when things are going good, but are also there for me when things are going bad. And my mom always told me growing up, it is so much better to have a few friends that actually care about you than to have an entire group of friends that could care less. And that has never rang more true than it does now in my life. Those people in your life that don't care about what you're going through and this isn't like you're stressed out for a test asking you how you're doing. This is literally something that flips your entire world upside down for the worse pretty much, and you are trying every single day to overcome this, heal from this, and they just don't give a single crap about helping you. You don't need those people in your life. Kick them out. Leave them in your past, because you're going to so much better places in the future where if they're not going to support you, you don't need them. Kick them out of your life. The 8th thing that I have learned about being a victim of abuse is that you cannot always do what everybody else is doing. I cannot tell you the amount of times where my friends went out on the weekends, my friends did this, or whatever. Plans were going on and I couldn't do it. I have gone out one weekend this entire semester, and that was this past Thanksgiving, the night before Thanksgiving. I don't have the energy to. I just don't like drinking all the time. I am more of a sociable drinker where I just like hanging out with my friends in like a closed environment, and we're just hanging out, talking, watching the game. I'll have a couple drinks. I don't have the energy, I don't have the time, and frankly I don't want to spend the money on going out and drinking every single weekend, but it does feel like you're missing out because that's what everybody else is doing. And I'm a senior in college. Like that's what people do when they're in college. They have fun on the weekends. Like now's the time to do it. But like I just can't. I can't. And I am too afraid to go out alone because I don't know who's going to be touching me, and people thinking they can say things to you that aren't appropriate because they're drunk, and I can't do that scene. I don't like it. It's just not me. On top of that, I have people on Instagram that I see all the time that are just constantly working out and shoving down your throat, getting to the gym, going to do this, eating healthy all the time, blah, 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 this and that. Honestly, to me, sometimes when it comes to working out, there is an excuse. People always say all the time, there's no excuse for not working out, blah, 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 this and that, whatever. Yes, there is. Some days, there are people who literally physically do not have the energy to work out because they are going through something so mentally hard that they just can't do it. So I used to work out every single day. I was a gymnast. And this part of my life now, I retired because of a back injury. I can't work out all the time because my back hurts to a point where I can't bend over or stand up or sit or anything. And then, you know, you see all these people now that are in this health kick and trying to work out, and it's like, yeah, I consider myself a healthy person. I try to watch what I eat to the best of my ability. On the days where I feel like I don't want to eat, I try to count my macros, so I'm trying to get those nutrients. But not every day you can do that kind of stuff. So don't feel bad about yourself when you can't do what everybody else is doing, because you are going through something that they probably are not going through. You have a grade that drops in school because you couldn't do your homework. That's okay. I'm not saying it's okay for your GPA to drop to a point where you're failing out of school, but my GPA has dropped a little bit since I started going through this entire case. It's harder for me to go to class. It's harder for me to focus in class because I go to Michigan State. You know how hard it is to go onto a campus that has treated you so poorly and have to sit through a class and listen to these people preach to you about how great of a school Michigan State is? And I will back it up. Michigan State is a great school. I am getting a great education. I'm going to graduate with a degree that's going to help me in the future that I worked hard for. But I also don't agree with all of these people that think Michigan State has done nothing wrong, and I hear about it constantly when I go to class and I go on campus, and that's hard. It makes it hard. And so it's okay to not feel the exact same way that other people do. Just in general, you do not have to do what everybody else is doing in this lifetime right now, because chances are what you are going through is beyond measure to what those people who are constantly going out and doing things with no stress, whatever, you are going through something they probably cannot even comprehend. So don't feel like you have to be doing what everybody else is doing, and that if you're not doing what everybody else is doing, you're a bad person. You don't have to graduate with a 3.5 or higher to be a successful person. You don't have to work out every single day and weigh 100 pounds to be a successful person. You can have ice cream. You can not work out for months at a time. As long as you're treating your body to a point where it's healthy and you are doing things that make you feel good, that's what matters. I tried working out every single day, and you know what? I couldn't, because I would wake up the next day and I couldn't walk because my back hurt so bad. And I felt like crap about myself because I was an ex-gymnast who used to work out every single day, and now I can't. And that sucks. It's really, really hard to grasp, but that's just how it is. So don't feel bad about yourself. I'm so sorry. That was literally a rant, and I got so worked up over that, but that is something that I feel so strongly about, is that whatever people are preaching about to make you try to join in on what they're doing, you don't have to do it. You're going through something that you need to focus on yourself, healing by yourself, and getting yourself to a healthy standpoint so that way maybe one day you can do those things. And the 10th thing that I've learned about being a victim of abuse is that you are going to turn into someone that you may not recognize. You are going to be a completely different person than you were before anything happened to you. And I mean this literally in the best way possible. I have strength and confidence in myself now that I never even knew I was going to have ever in my life. I never ever thought I would see a day where I was sitting here on a platform as big as YouTube talking about one of the most private and vulnerable topics of my life. But I'm doing it because I think it is so important to talk about this and let people know that they're not alone. And I never ever thought that I would have the courage to do something like this, but I do. You're also going to make decisions that you never really predicted. I make decisions for myself now. I do a lot of things now that are more so for myself, whereas before, anything that I would do, it was only for other people, and I was never ever putting myself first. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I do it too often, and I do put myself first too much. And I'm still trying to find that balance. But I will say now I'm a much happier person because I realize that my voice matters and my opinions matter. And it's not fair for other people to walk all over me and just think that they can take advantage of me because I'm too naive, like kind of like Larry did. You know, I was young. I didn't know any better. I didn't know what he was doing to me. And so he was just somebody that thought he could take advantage of me no matter what. And now I don't let people do that anymore. I don't let people walk all over me. I also just think that you're going to change into somebody who you're going to be able to give advice and help other people in ways that you never thought you could. Because the only way you can give advice about abuse and give people help is if you have been through it. And that is a superpower that you have, a literal superpower, because you are going to be able to relate to people, give them advice, help them, comfort them in ways that just other people can't, because you have that superpower from what you went through. And I received a DM, I think just yesterday, I'm filming this on Monday, from a girl who said, do you believe that everything happens for a reason? And absolutely 110% yes. God makes you go through things to teach you so you can then help other people with what you've learned. And like I said, I'm taking something that was such a bad point in my life 2 years ago. It was just so, I don't know, I don't even have words to describe it, but it was just an awful, awful time for me. And I turned it into something now where I'm able to use this platform and my Instagram and my Twitter and help other people and raise awareness to what's going on and hold people accountable, because it is not okay to abuse others. It is not okay to ever treat somebody to a point where you are just taking advantage of them for your own self-pleasure. That is never okay, and under any circumstance. I truly think that I am a completely different person than I was before, and I look back to 2 years ago when I was starting to go through all of this and realizing what had actually happened to me, and I wonder who I would have been today had I not gone through all of this. And I don't even want to think about it, because I am so happy with the person that I've become, and I am confident in myself. I don't need others' validation of who I am. I don't need to please other people. I live my life as who I am, and I help other people, and I try to be kind and handle things with grace, and that's the best you can do. So that is going to be the last thing that I have learned as a victim of abuse. That's my top 10 things, and I hope that you guys can relate to this too, because I think a lot of us have come out a lot stronger and a lot different than the person that we were before. So that brings us to the end of this video, you guys, which means we only have one video left in the Survivor series. I truly hope that you guys have enjoyed this series a lot and that you have found it useful for you, and like it has not been a waste of your time to watch all of these videos, because I know that some of them are kind of overwhelming and they've gotten pretty long. But like I said, I hope that these have helped you, and it truly has brought a lot of healing for me to hear all of the people that respond back to me and can relate to what I'm saying. So thank you to you guys so much for supporting me and doing this series and all of these episodes. Without you guys, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So the last video of this series is going to be all of the unanswered questions, and I am so excited to do this video because I feel like a lot of people's questions kind of got thrown into this category because I didn't really know where to throw them. So be on the lookout for the next video, because they are some really good questions, and hopefully I can answer them for you guys to the best of my ability. So make sure you subscribe down below so you can see all of the great videos I have coming for Vlogmas. I literally planned Vlogmas back in early October. I spent like 6 hours one night just going through planning everything I wanted to do, and there's some really fun stuff coming. So I hope that you guys have a great morning, great day, great night whenever you are watching this, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.